So, if you're learning English, I bet you know this feeling. You're putting in the work, but real fluency, it still feels just out of reach. Well, today, we're going to change that. We're not just giving you a few tips, we are laying out a clear, strategic roadmap to get you past that frustrating wall and onto the path of real, confident speaking. Does this sound familiar? You're studying, you're practicing, you're logging the hours, but it feels like your progress has just completely flatlined. You can understand a ton, but actually finding the right words, speaking with confidence, that's still a struggle. It's a super common feeling, and it turns out there's a name for this exact wall that you've hit. You've officially hit what language experts call the Intermediate Plateau. It's that incredibly frustrating stage where all the learning methods that got you this far, they just stop working. But here's the good news. This is not a dead end, not at all. In fact, it's kind of like a rite of passage. It's a sign that you're ready to evolve your strategy. And that is exactly what we're going to do. So, how do we navigate this? Where do we even start? Well, we start with a map. A reliable, internationally recognized map for your entire journey. This is the foundation for setting real, achievable goals. It's called the CEFR, and it is the global gold standard for measuring language ability. It breaks down the whole journey into 6 clear levels, from A1, a total beginner, all the way up to C2, which is mastery. Think of it as moving from just introducing yourself to, say, debating complex ideas, with clear, measurable signposts all along the way so you know exactly where you are. And here's where the reality of the journey really becomes clear. Just look at the hours. Reaching an independent B2 level, that can take up to 700 hours. But look at the jump after that. The path is not a straight line. The higher you climb, the more effort each new step requires. This, right here, is the heart of the plateau. And this number is exactly why that plateau feels so real. Just to get from B2 to the next level, C1, that demands 200 to 250 hours of focused study. To put that in perspective, that's almost the same amount of time it takes to go from absolute zero, knowing nothing, all the way to a B1 intermediate level. So the lesson is crystal clear. What got you here is not going to get you there. You need a new approach. So what is this new approach? Well, it's about a whole new set of rules. The entire philosophy of how to learn a language effectively has shifted. It's time to stop studying English like it's some dusty museum piece and start using it like the powerful tool it's meant to be. You see, the old way was all about memorizing grammar rules, analyzing sentences, stuff like that. The new, modern approach is about one thing and one thing only: real communication. The goal is no longer to just know the rules of English, but to actually use English to get things done in the real world. This new way is built on 2 core ideas. First, communicative language teaching, where really the only thing that matters is this: can you get your message across effectively? And second, task-based language teaching. This just means you learn by doing. So instead of a boring grammar worksheet on the future tense, your task is to plan a weekend trip with a friend, all in English, of course. Okay, so what does this journey actually look like when you put it all together? It's not just chaos. It can be broken down into 3 distinct, really strategic phases. Phase 1 is all about building your core, the most common words, the basic structures you need for survival. Phase 2 is where you gain independence, building fluency and the ability to express your own opinions. And Phase 3, that's all about mastery, refining nuance and style to communicate with the kind of precision a native speaker has. So how do you actually move through these phases? You need the right tools. So let's look at a few super high-impact techniques you can start using literally today to drive real, measurable progress. First up, shadowing. This is so simple, but wow, it's powerful. You listen to a native speaker, and you just repeat what they say in real time, kind of like an echo. This isn't about understanding every single word. It's about training the physical muscles in your mouth for the rhythm, the intonation, the whole flow of natural English speech. It's a workout for your mouth. Next, spaced repetition. Using an app like Anki, you can systematically review vocabulary. But here's the absolute key. The goal isn't just to recognize a word when you see it. The goal is to move it into your active vocabulary so you can pull it out of thin air in a conversation. That's the difference between just knowing a word and truly owning it. And now for a total game changer, AI partners. You can use chatbots for infinite, judgment-free speaking practice. But here's the secret sauce. Don't just chat. You have to give it a role and a specific task. For example, tell it, You are a barista. I'm a customer ordering a complicated coffee. After we talk, give me feedback on my polite phrasing and correct any mistakes. This turns a simple tool into your own personal, adaptive tutor. Okay, so let's put it all together. Every skill has its own power tool. For vocabulary, spaced repetition is what drives that active recall. For your listening and rhythm, shadowing builds that physical fluency. For speaking, a targeted AI partner gives you that crucial feedback. And for writing, you can use techniques like inversion drills, where you practice flipping sentence structures around to sound more sophisticated. This, right here, is your toolkit for smashing through that plateau. So, here's the main takeaway from all of this. Achieving mastery isn't about reaching some magical, far-off finish line. It's about having a clear map, using the right tools, and committing to a smart, well-planned journey one step at a time. So the path is clear now. You have the framework, you have the new rules, and you have the high-impact techniques. The only question left is, what's your next step?